Here's our practice worksheet on public goods. So non-rival but excludable is actually the first one, the pay-per-view movies. They can be excluded because you have to pay, but it's non-rival because watching a movie doesn't take away from anyone else watching. Corn is both rival and excludable. National defense is non-rival and non-excludable. Broadcast TV is the same, non-rival and non-excludable. And fish are rival, but they are non-excludable. A copy of the movie Pulp Fiction at the video store. That is a private good because there's only one copy there. If you take it, it's not there for somebody else, and they make you pay to take it. When it's shown on HBO, it's collective because it's non-rival, but it's an excludable good. And then on CBS, on broadcast TV, it's public because it's non-rival and non-excludable. So, private collective public is D. Relying on a regressive tax structure to fund public goods would result in under-provision. So, the progressive tax structure makes sense where people who earn more are taxed at a higher percentage because that's how we can get enough money to have a level of public goods that the wealthier people would want. If we were trying to take more money from people with low income, the total amount that we got would be pretty small and we wouldn't be able to have very many or very nice public goods. Here we have a situation with Karen, Tammy, and Max. So would any of them buy the good on their own that costs $900? No. It's not worth $900 to any in one of them individually. If they have to pay equally, what would happen? Well, Max would vote yes, and Tammy and Karen would vote no, because it's not worth $300 to either of them. Now that's the last question on that topic, but you can kind of see that this public good should happen. I mean, the total willingness to pay for the good is 1,000, and that's greater than the cost of 900. So it really would be good to be able to produce this. The equal shares system isn't going to work, and the reason the income is listed is because you could come up with some kind of system where you can see if they each paid 10%, then well, that would more than pay for it because that would be $1,200. Karen and Max would be in favor, and Tammy would vote against because it's not worth that much to her, but if it's a majority rule, then they're going to collect the tax. And it wouldn't have to be 10%, it could maybe be 8%, I'm not sure, I haven't done the calculations. And that would also make it more palatable to Karen because actually 10% is just equal to the value to her, so she might be kind of indifferent on that. But less than 10% she would do, and Max would do, and Tammy, you know, she doesn't like it, but if it's she's the only person against it, then it would probably pass. Moving along to the next questions. Demand for a public good is constructed differently because everybody has the same amount of the public good. So instead of with the private good, we look at each price and say how many people want to buy at this price. For the public good, we go by quantities, and we say, well, for this quantity, what is everybody, each person, each household willing to pay? And we add up all the willingness to pay for that quantity, and then all the willingness to pay for the next quantity, and so forth. So if we have a database of product reviews, that is a public good because this database of product reviews, I mean, it's non-rival, and it's not excludable, it's just out there for people to find, and one person using it doesn't mean there's less for anybody else. And the fact that it's a public good that's privately provided through ads. And then 8, if there's zero marginal cost but there's a positive price, then it's inefficient. We're going to have not enough. So if, if we draw a demand curve here, and we can, so we put any price in there, even a low price, right? Well, that means that only this amount will do it, and these people in here, the value to them, they had a positive value, and the marginal cost was 0, and they're not getting it because their value doesn't rise quite up to this price that's being charged. So it's inefficient, and we have a deadweight loss of that little triangle there. That value isn't happening because of the price that's keeping out that last little group of people who have a value, but the value is less than the price. Let me know if you have questions.